What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Post Credits Podcast PCP, episode 52.
So glad no one saw your finger guns.
Oh, it didn't. I'm not up high
He
enough.
did not.
Okay. A show where we are lucky enough to talk movies with you. This is episode 52, recorded on Sunday, October 19th, 2025, to get posted to the usual spots. Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, and YouTube, and Apple. I didn't read Apple. Sorry, there's a height differential between what I'm usually reading.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening to us on an audio-only version, feel free to come on over to YouTube. Check us out there, too. We have another banger of a short, Barbatron. That confuses you, go check it out. I think you'll like it. Roger's idea, actually.
Sure.
I've got to give him credit. You can watch full episodes there or just segments. We try to snip out some interesting stuff. Like and subscribe. Don't forget that. However you choose to enjoy our content. Thank you very much. I'm back in studio for a few weeks. Here I am. I know the guys are happy to have me.
Yeah.
Woo.
Thank you for your fanfare, guys. I really appreciate it. Appreciate that.
Boo.
Yep.
Well, guys, what's going on?
You're back in the studio and really messed up my flow.
Yeah. It brings.
I had to rewire a microphone today.
I did. But
Someone
it's for the better.
Someone
If you're-
forgot his stand.
It brings the
I
morale
did
down
get
for
my
sure.
stand. It's been rigged fine. It works fine. I am one of your hosts, Grayson Maxwell. Joining me every week are my lovely co-hosts, Roger Stillion and Chris Boughan. All of us here in the flesh in the studio.
True.
You know, you didn't have to tell them it was rigged. They can't tell that it is.
True.
Well,
It
there's
looks
no,
totally normal.
They can see the. They
Yeah,
can see the.
That's how it's
thingies.
supposed to look.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. What's going on this week, guys? How be you?
It's good, man. Glad to be here.
That's good. The great riveting radio for an
That's
audio
it.
podcast.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
video.
It's also a video
Yeah.
podcast.
It's now a video podcast. If you haven't heard, we're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube. Check it out.
YouTube? What's going on, Chris? How's your little Olympians?
Everything's good. Had our first swim meet of the year today. That was
They
was
crushed
fun.
them mercilessly.
So I don't know because they did a virtual swim meet, which is an interesting concept.
Wait, hold on. What is wait a second. What's a virtual
The-
swim?
Yeah, I have questions here.
The
too.
schools are doing their thing in their own gymnasiums, but they're racing the same race at the same time, and then they put times online. So you're still racing against everybody and everybody's time, but it's less crowd at the pool.
No,
It's faster, things
Okay,
like that. So.
I can see how that would work.
Yeah.
Don't try to stretch it. No, you can't. That
No,
would not
I
work
do
at
though,
all.
because like for a swim meet, as long as you have 8 people going, which
Yeah.
is generally how many people they have going, I assume it's 8 for
Yeah.
the little kids as well. You know, as long as it's judged,
Yeah.
officially and then timed,
That's all it
it
needs.
doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, like it wouldn't
There
matter.
wouldn't be any side drafting in this, which is a real swim thing, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. So, but I mean, yeah.
You're also not breeding little killers. You're not breeding very.
Well, they're still racing against all the kids on their team too, because you don't want you want the best time you can get.
There's
Period.
something about seeing the competition and needing to get ahead
There
of
are
them.
other people in the pool with them, just not all of them.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, so that was neat. My youngest is deep into gymnastics. She's built for it, so
Nice.
a lot of fun there.
She's up there flipping around and doing all kinds
Yeah.
of weird inverse things.
My
And
buddy's
yeah.
kid's like super into gymnastics and like acrobat and things
Yeah.
like that, and it seems exhausting.
Yeah, well,
seems exhausting.
she has the energy for it, so it's
Yeah.
definitely a good thing.
It needs energy. Yes. What about you, Roger? What's going on in your home? How's the new cat adjusting?
It's
My
not the new
cat
cat
is-
now, right?
Well, I mean, it's
just
been
the
around
cat?
for a while. It's just a cat.
Yeah.
And he's a psychopath. And it's great.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, it's everything I deserve in a cat. A cat who will sleep for
I
like
think-
11 hours a day, but like it'd be like, hey man, what's up? Oh, I'm gonna fight you. Then I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yep.
Oh look, you walk by, I'm gonna fight you right now.
Sounds just like my 7-year-old. Okay.
yeah,
got
no,
it.
it's hey,
Yeah.
Amazing how they intersect so
Yeah, yeah.
quickly.
that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Do-
he's
you
cool.
Did you guys watch anything this week?
So much. Oh my lord.
I started. I've been looking for some stuff to watch episodic, and I'm watching through with my wife, watching The Pit
Okay.
on Max, which is
I've seen all of that. It's good.
with The Pit is very good. It's filmed in Pittsburgh on
Mhm.
location at one
No,
of the
not
hospitals.
all of it. Exteriors and things. Some small portion of it is Pittsburgh.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it's based in Pittsburgh, and it's a pretty good
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, my one gripe about the Pit is that it is a little preachy at times, which I don't know how deep you are into it, but like you'll
I'm
notice
halfway. So
Yeah,
I've seen it.
it's a little preachy, but even in that, I think that the goal of the show is both to be entertaining and for it to actually like highlight some things within the medical industry that
Sure.
that they feel is important. So I wouldn't not watch it because of it, but that was the one thing that set me off with it. Great acting in it all the way
Well,
around.
I'm super excited about it too because like once after a couple episodes, like I realized like this is pretty good.
Yeah,
And it's 10 episodes, which
Flies,
yeah, and
dude.
it's going quick. And I was just like, oh man, because I got into this late because obviously it's been out for a few months, and I'm like, so I started looking. I was like, oh, there is a second season coming,
Mhm.
and it's in January, and it's set like 10 months
after it, yeah.
which is cool. But it's set over the 4th of July weekend, which I'm just like, ooh, that could be a lot of fun
Yeah.
in a hospital show.
I mean, someone's coming in with less than 10 fingers. You know that's going to happen
Oh
at some
yeah,
point.
sure.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I ended up watching I watched The Greatest Showman for the first time in a long time with my family. So
Nice.
yeah.
What did they think of it?
What
What did you think after seeing it for so long?
I mean, I've always loved The Greatest Showman. It's one of the few movies that like hits me in my feels. So I don't like watching it that often. But my
It's a hell
old
of a movie.
my oldest liked it. My wife likes the movie, and my youngest was like half attentive because it's just not quite it's just not quite the vibe for my 7-year-old yet. She's a lot of in and out viewing where she'll
Sure.
like run out of the room, come back in, run out of the room, come back in. But it was good.
I mean, it's hard to get a kid in for musicals if they're not super into it.
Yeah.
So
I rewatched Warfare,
lucky you.
which is that movie's awesome, especially the flyovers when they're
Yeah.
It's called a show of force.
Yeah, and that's really great. That
Right.
movie. That's the thing is, I really appreciate movies that do that. Would find creative ways to put your actors in one scenario and keep them there and keep us compelled watching them.
I mean, this has got Alex phone booth, so yeah, that sounds about
love
right.
Phone Booth, unashamedly. Yes, but Warfare is I'm willing to say it's a somewhere in between good and great, but it's a very good movie for A20. I've just been watching A24 movies. I was so disappointed by Smashing Machine. I rewatched Civil War also, which is a awesome movie,
It's a good
man.
movie.
It really is great. The movie's got a lot of moving parts. I watched. I finished the Ed Gein story. Do you guys? Maybe I said that already, but you guys, did I tell you about that?
I haven't watched it.
No.
So I remember. I think the last time I talked about it was I was 2 episodes in, so I finished it, and Charlie Hunnam does an amazing job as Ed Gein. I didn't know that Ed Gein was the influence for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for Psycho, and there's another very popular 80s thing that was anyway, but it showed it ended in a way about this guy who killed people and wore their skin, and ended in a way that they want you to feel for him, and like it was operatic as he was waving the chainsaw around in his memory, but it was, and apparently he helped bring down Ted Bundy. Wait, was Ted the one with the movie with Zac Efron?
Yeah.
Yeah, he helped bring down Ted. He gave the authorities a tip that brought him down. So I mean, I guess that's a good thing. Who knows how many more people that guy would have killed? But
So you think he's a good guy?
no, but
Okay.
it's an interesting because they would show you. Do you guys remember the sequence from Texas Chainsaw Massacre when they put the girl's head over the bucket and they keep trying to get the grandfather to hit her with a hand when he's so old he can't do it? So they set that sequence up, and then as they pan out, it then fades into shooting the scene of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and like you see the boom and you see the people. So like it's really, you see the influence for that, and they do it for Psycho and another one. But it's really them that really kind of, it also unnerved me, that show, the Ed Gein show, because there's some necrophilia there, there's some eating of people, there's
Those
all kinds of weird
those
stuff.
are two different things.
I know, yeah, that's why I made sure to separate them. But that was.
Is there an order that happens in?
I'll let you watch it.
I don't know. It's okay.
But I really enjoyed that. I watched some other things. I rewatched some things. I watched Joyride again, which is going to make another appearance in this episode. I watched some documentaries. I tell you, Netflix, boy, I give them crap all the time, but I got to say their docu-series is wonderful.
They've always been good at documentaries, even from the beginning. Like
that's how they really got their start.
One of the first TV channel programming that they bought the rights to was History Channel for that reason.
Smart for them because they have a ton of docs. And I also watched a thing of note I want to talk about. Do you guys remember? It was a Netflix film. It was called Dig, with the Fiends. It was Voldemort, Carey Mulligan. Do you guys remember that?
No.
2021. It was a while ago.
Yeah,
but I watched that. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
About a woman who has burial mounds on her property, convinces Ray Fiennes. Who is Voldemort? Was that Ray Fiennes?
Yeah.
To be the guy who digs it up. I forget his name, but it's a ship that predates the Vikings, and it's this huge find that completely changed our thinking as to how people came to the UK and Europe. And really interesting movie though about how it changes hands with like the British Museum, and that people come in and try to take his authority away. And it's such a riveting movie, but I love that one too. So if you should check that one out.
Is it interesting? Sounds interesting.
I loved it. It's set in pre-World War II Britain, like right before war, like right when they're gearing up to like prepare to, the Battle of Britain and stuff like that. But it's very well done. But I really enjoyed it. So if you guys are scrolling and need something to watch, don't sleep on that. It's very good.
Okay.
We've already slept on it for 4 years, so don't sleep on it anymore. But
I probably will.
yeah, and I'm here, as you can see. I have my haircut. Thank you.
Yeah, looks great.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate the sarcasm, Roger. I see you smiling.
I don't know. Very serious.
No,
sarcasm. But I'm here. I'm here for a few weeks. I am happy to be in studio. I start an Apple feature in mid-November.
Whoa, fancy boy!
Excited about that.
Is it Ted Lasso?
It is not, unfortunately. I've always wanted to
get out.
Apple's the studio I wanted to work with, so I'm glad I get that chance now. But yeah, really excited.
Very cool.
Yeah. So without any further delay, let's start a show then, guys.
Do it.
Yeah, we got.
Before I do that, need to address something else. I was going to address this in the show, the comment we got on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going to read it.
We have a comment and call out.
We do have a comment.
Yes, we do.
And I want to. I'm the one that talked about the movie so passionately, so I'm the one that's going to defend it. And you guys are welcome to also anything you want to say about Minority Report from 2002. The commenter says, so because of you guys, I watched Minority Report for the first time, and I have a few questions, comments.
Good.
The ending was awful. I can't believe they would just give up on pre-crime like that. So I'm going to address that. I think the point of that is because the whole movie's about showing you the flaw in the system, that it doesn't work.
Sure.
And so, like, I think the movie answer to that is, if you watch the movie, you understand why they have to abandon full pre-crime. It's a little bit to do with the question that everyone asks that Colin Farrell's character gives us when he rolls the ball down the table. Remember, Tom Cruise catches it.
Yeah.
He says, well, the ball didn't fall. Was it going to? That's the thing, is if they stop someone from killing someone and they didn't commit the crime, how can you punish them?
Yeah. Well,
sure.
So, I mean, it goes on the same vein of, with like capital punishment talks where, 100 people put to death, with the death penalty is not worth the one person who's innocent that goes through it as well.
And I get that. So I think I understand your question. If something works 90%, but it actually, the movie does a good job, I think, to present that they have to abandon pre-crime because no one's actually committed a crime.
Yeah.
So that was what the whole thing with him going through that has to do, is saying no one actually committed the crime.
True.
I'll go on.
So all I've heard is Grayson is pro-crime. Continue.
Yeah.
90% reduced crime is a huge amount to just say, oh, well, and I hate happy endings anyways.
Fair.
I'll respond to that. Good. Good. I'll handle that part of the
Not
question.
all the time, but sometimes. I can't stand Tom Cruise.
No, that's also fair.
Well,
listen.
Sure.
Listen.
Sure.
I mean,
I don't think you're alone in that, reader. So
we've all got our actor or actresses that we're just not okay with. So.
And what about the precogs? Are they just supposed to live in the little cabin the rest of their lives? I think what the movie leaves us with is they've been used as tools literally their entire lives.
Yeah.
So the camera, as we get the pan out from them in the cabin reading books, I think we're met with, in his narration, is just telling us they're going to live the life they want to live, subsidized by Washington, D.C.
All right.
And they're just going to do what they're going to do, and they deserve it at this point because they've been used like pawns for decades, and they deserve a quiet life.
They should do crime.
Less like pawns and more like tools. But
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Fair. Tools. Bad wording. Where was I? Oh, are they just gonna? Okay, why would they let all the criminals from pre-crime out again? Because they never actually committed a crime.
Yeah.
So why would they let all the pre-crime criminals out? I just read that. So are they saying that every single one of those people weren't going to commit murder? That's the
crux of it.
So maybe not.
Yeah.
That's the crux of the film. It does say that police departments kept watch on many of them for years to come.
Yeah.
So I think the movie leaves us with kind of things sewn up. I understand your questions. I do. I get that's a movie that's kind of like when you watch a trailer, you immediately have questions. Well, if no one commits a crime, how can you possibly put them away? But I appreciate your passionate questions, though. Of course, we do.
Yeah.
Thank you, though, for writing those in.
Yeah, appreciate that.
And the last question is, what actually happened to Sean? I think that's also in movie answered. him and his wife. We see his wife pregnant again. We've seen them gotten back together,
Mhm.
and they're gonna, whether he works at a police station in DC, whether he does his own thing. I think the point is that we've seen them over the hump of losing a child. They're back together. His wife is pregnant again, and life will continue.
Hmm.
And I think that's. I mean, do we need anything more in that?
So yeah, I have real important questions. Like, did he give that old man his eyeballs back?
Very good question.
That's a real question.
Yeah.
What happened to his eyes?
Yeah.
All right,
And
all right.
what about the guy's eyes that he took? Just saying. Those are questions that we didn't get answers to.
Correct,
Tom
we did
Cruise,
not.
if you'd like to come on the show and answer,
Yeah.
I will be waiting.
Or defend yourself
or
from
defend your eyeball theft.
Or Steven Spielberg. You're welcome.
Sure.
To come
Also,
on.
either
yep,
one,
also
honestly.
welcome here. Yep.
Welcome. All right. So thank you for that. Thank you for your passionate write-in.
Also, shout out to the guy in our short that said he also liked Reboot for you, buddy.
Oh hell yeah! I didn't even see that.
Yep.
Did you? Oh, I didn't see it either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reboot. That's
Reboot.
I remember that show.
rules.
I talked to my brother about that
Yeah.
today. We both watched that.
I'm telling
so
you, if
that's
you
an older show though, right?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's like,
Like
it's back in
early
it's back in
90s,
it's
2000s?
back in our teenage years on Cartoon Network Adult Swim. Yeah, it was older. You'd probably, I'm telling you, Raj, you would dig Reboot. Like it's good. Like conceptually, it's interesting, and the show gets dark
Good.
when it's wrapping it up.
It really does. It really
Yeah,
does.
it goes on a wild turn for kid television. So it's
All
pretty
right.
cool.
Switching gears a little bit. Let's talk about some box office.
Let's do that.
Where are we? Just to check where we're at. We're at the okay, 16 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty
It's
good.
no,
not
we're
that
good.
normal for us, but
Nah,
pretty
we're
good. All right.
good.
Pretty good.
Number one, as a surprise, no one. Black Phone 2, $26.5 million for a worldwide of $42 million, which is a great start, I think, for a thriller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, 42 million is not bad for. If this was just a straight horror film, we'd say 42 million was great, right?
Yeah, because those don't cost anything to make. But
Yeah, it's and I do think
It's
that
already in the money, baby.
I do 30 million budget.
30 million.
Yeah, no, it's doing pretty good for itself, honestly.
Number two, Tron Ares, $11.1 million for a worldwide of 102, but that costs what, 175?
Yeah, 180.
180
That's not going to hit.
is
that.
not in the money.
I think I saw something today. Of course, YouTube Short, so grain of salt that they've now shelved Tron forever. But I don't know if I agree with that. But
So
I'm gonna start breaking news on our shorts. Just,
So I'm okay if they shelve it because it's not making money. But here's the thing that's going to happen that I don't agree with. They're going to blame the audience for it not making money,
Of course,
not
of course.
not their own creative direction for it not making money.
I would just blame Jared Leto.
No,
he wasn't the problem though.
he's
He was
fine
yeah,
in it.
He's fine in
He's
it.
not great. He's not fantastic.
That's the thing, though. He's audience repellent currently.
I don't think so.
No,
I really
You
don't.
think so?
I mean, his last several leading role movie numbers.
Yeah, but
say
I don't
today
think
is-
he's the reason why people don't. I think he hasn't been anything that's been good enough to watch. To bring people in like that. Like
Well,
what's the last great Jared Leto movie?
I would pose the question though, and I understand what I mean. If Jared Leto is a leading man in bad movies, is it the movie's fault or is it Jared Leto's fault?
So I mean, listen, like he hasn't done what he's needed to elevate himself to get asked for higher roles, maybe and more predetermined successful roles. But
I mean, he has an Oscar.
But to say something like he's audience repellent, no one is looking at Tron and going, "Oh, Leto's in that. I don't need to see that." Then and that's not what's happened. In my opinion.
Matter of fact, I cannot think of a good Jared Leto movie. The last now this because my brain's not working. But the last great Jared Leto movie I thought was Lord of War, and he was.
I was about to say Lord of War.
That's Nick Cage.
Yeah, he's not the lead. Yeah,
So I mean, I can't even think of what the
I mean,
last good one would have been.
Morbius again. Like he's
All right, just go ahead, Roger. Just
Morning time.
he's not the issue with Morbius, right?
correct.
And
You're
I
right
think
about
that's
that.
the point I'm making there.
Well,
He's
Morbius
not.
was so poorly executed.
Morbius
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just bad.
It's just
Yeah,
bad,
but he's not the problem with that film. It's just the film wasn't very good. He could have been replaced with a bunch of male leads, and it would have changed nothing. The movie isn't more successful with a different guy
Sure.
playing Ares and Tron Ares.
Well,
It just isn't.
just because I don't want to dwell on this for very long.
Yeah.
Jared Leto, Suicide Squad,
Yeah,
Morbius,
repellent, yeah.
House of Gucci, also bad.
Yeah.
Not his fault. That movie is bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. Looks like apparently he's in the Masters of the Universe movie coming out next year.
Oh, I mean,
He's in a bunch of other stuff early on.
Yeah.
Was he in Blade Runner 2049?
yeah. He's the main bad dude doing all the things. I called that out when we talked about it.
Yeah. I mean, so he's good in that movie.
Yeah,
that movie's good not because of Jared Leto.
Yeah,
though,
but
so,
I know, and what my point is, the movie's not bad, or is people aren't looking at it and not going to see it because Jared Leto's in it. That'd be like people that are like you need to have people like really against the actor and being vocal about it, which happens sometimes,
Sure.
right? But I don't think that's the case for Jared Leto and
well,
Tron.
I think you're giving studios a little too much credit. I think it needs to be more complicated, in-depth look when thinking about who to cast. But they're going to look at Morbius, Tron. Both could have been trilogies and died because of him, or died when he wasn't on there. So, no more let up.
He's the lead
So
man, yeah.
they might the conversation may actually just be that long.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for studios,
He's the lead man, but he's not the
So,
leading character in the
sure.
film.
But I mean, that's a good conversation we can have it later. I mean, the
Yeah.
next when. What did you say? Masters of the Universe comes out. We can continue
Yeah.
this conversation to see if it's really true. But
True.
number 3, Good Fortune, a movie I was really looking forward to see. 6.2 million for a worldwide of 6.2.
Okay.
That's Keanu. We wish him the best. One battle after another. Number 4, $4 million for a worldwide of
$4 million.
162. Hurts my soul,
It made
guys.
162.
It's up to 162. Well, it had a 130. It's not anywhere in the black. It's still
Oh yeah,
operating in the-
because it was also one like a $200 million movie.
Mhm.
130-ish.
Oh yeah.
But the advertising budget for that was massive.
It was
so,
huge. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
probably more like 150 to 160 if you're looking at actual profit.
Yeah.
So, number 5, Roofman. There we go. 3.7. Another movie I really wanted to see and haven't yet. 17.2 million. It's doing better than something else.
Sure, doing better does not mean it's doing good.
Sure.
Yeah, it isn't making money. I've heard good things about it though.
All right, 6 through 10. Truth and Reason, which I don't know what that is. Or Truth and Treason. Sorry.
I've been to a town called Truth and Consequences, New Mexico before.
Interesting. Thank you for that.
One dirt road.
Roger's looking at you with not good eyes. I'm telling you, it's not good eyes.
Thank you.
All right. All right, 6 through 10. Truth and Treason. Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie. Number 8, Conjuring Last Rites. Number 9, After the Hunt. Number 10, Soul on Fire. So
Nice.
kind of a slower October than we're
Yeah,
used
we
to.
talked about that a couple months ago though.
October sucks.
A month ago or so.
What's your clinical analysis? October sucks. Roger Stillion.
Put that on the poster.
But it sparkles.
October sucks. And it just comes out of my
Yeah.
With cats on
Hey,
the side.
hey, our editing guy worked that in there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He is the editor.
I'm the editing guy.
All right, let's talk
Is
about
it?
a movie
Is it funny?
recommendation.
Ooh, I got
I'll
wrecked.
get it up.
You're the rec guy
I
today.
am
Yeah, the rec guy, right?
Your
It's me.
turn.
I watched it again. I was so
This
blown
better
away
be a
by
good
this.
choice.
It is a good choice, and you get
If
the
not, I
beautiful.
can throw stuff at you
You
Mhm.
can.
because you're
I
in the
would.
studio.
I would hope you wouldn't, but
You
the
can hope.
beautiful Paul Walker, Steve Zahn, and Lily Sobieski
R.I.P.
in Joyride. Oh, R.I.P. Paul Walker. Yeah, sad. Wait, is that the only one that?
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, you said it after Lily. I'm like, I didn't know she died, but yeah, you were saying it because of Paul Walker. Thank you for that. All right, thank you. Steve Zahn, Paul Walker, Jessica Bowman, Lily Sobieski comprise this. This is from 2001, and I noticed that J.J. Abrams was all over this. His name was in the producing and the writing. His name was all over this. So this must have been like
He's proud of this one.
this is like right in the up and coming J.J. Abrams kind of time. But it is 3 college age kids are on a trip back from home when they decide to mess with a trucker on his CB radio, and it does not go well. He exacts revenge. The one, and he. If you remember the Candy Cane, that was him, and he was Rusty Nail. I think it works in kind of a Hitchcockian way of the villain is good, he is creepy, and you never know who it is. Where the movie, I think, falls short is he's always like 6 steps ahead of them, which they're driving east, so it's really impossible to be that far ahead of people just driving on a highway going. You don't know where east they're going. You just don't know it. So in that way, I think the movie's a bit of a reach. But however, I think the way they filmed it, the way they made it is great. And I will say with the script is at every point after this guy's messing with them, at every juncture to go to the police, they can't because something happens where they cannot go to the police. He puts the CB radio back. He's been in their car. He sets them up and he's chasing them in this big rig, this truck. And I just thought, I haven't seen that movie 20 years.
It's a long time for me, yeah.
And I watched it and I was floored by it. I loved it. I thought it was great. But it's a return to that time when things were lit that way overproduced. You had, back to Paul Walker, back to Steve Zahn. It was in that time of movies where like everything was being made and just everything big
movie
budget.
that gives me like a similar vibe to that with like the way, like you mentioned, the way it's shot and way things are lit is Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
kind of
sure.
That was the
it's
same
kind of
year,
similar. Is it?
2001. I
Was
think
it?
so.
Same time frame. Yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
That was another cult classic that just
Mhm.
spawned like 4 sequels. But there are more Joyride. I didn't know there were Joyride sequels.
Yeah, there are.
Are there?
He's
Okay,
in-
I wasn't aware of that.
Rusty
I'm sure
Nail is
they're
in-
great.
Rusty Nail is in them, but I watched the trailers for Joyride 2 and 3.
Oh,
It doesn't sound like the same guy.
they're probably bad.
I'm sure. I never
Actually,
heard of them.
during this week, I want you to watch both of them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can
And
do
report
that.
back.
Yeah, report back.
I'll do that. Okay,
Yeah.
but I love Joyride. I think the first Joyride is it's a wonderful thriller.
I was in college when it came out. That was a big deal. Like, yeah, people liked that movie a lot.
Mhm.
And I forgot the Paul Walker run. You know, people always talk about the Tom Cruise run.
Yeah.
Paul Walker he's running down the length of a hotel like hallway like
Mhm.
outside, and I watched it a couple times. His head doesn't move, but his body is pumping.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, that's the Paul Walker run, man. That's great. I miss that guy. But that was 2001 was also Fast and Furious, the thing that, launched him into superstardom.
Yeah.
So that must have been his movie combo that time, Joyride and
Yeah.
Fast and Furious. But yeah,
Both having to do with vehicles too. Weird.
they did indeed. But if you've not seen that one's available on, where did I watch that? Oh, it's on Prime and Hulu.
Okay.
So chances are you have one of those. Check it out. If you want some nostalgia bait, if you were teen back then or a younger person back then, you'll have a great time for 90. It's quick. It's like 97 minutes. It's very quick. So
Another movie I want to call out that it makes me think of is more of a slasher thriller movie. But do you guys ever watch Hatchet Man?
No.
sounds made up. though.
Sounds, yeah.
So it's about a
Did
guy. Who,
AI write this movie?
no, it's about a guy who hitchhikes and murders people with a hatchet. But
I couldn't
I
have
mean,
guessed
like,
that.
look, I would be surprised if it was another weapon. I'm just saying.
I mean, but like the movie we're gonna talk about today had a hatchet involved. So I don't know.
Is his name Hatch?
Yeah,
Cleverly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is Joe
You
Hatchet.
should watch Hatchet Man too. It's actually
If I can find it, I
it's
will.
actually all right.
Okay. Oh, well, look, if it's fun, it's fun.
Yeah.
I like another guilty pleasure. Several years later was Sean Bean, the Hitcher, with
Oh yeah.
Sophie Bush, and who was the guy that she was married to for a while? Also One Tree Hill. He was
Chad
just
Michael Murray.
yes, and those two were in that, and I love that when she.
Why'd you point at me and why did I know that answer?
I mean,
God damn it.
we just saw him in something as an older as
I see Chad Michael Murray a lot because my wife watches all of those movies.
Yeah.
Because he's in like the Hallmark movies and stuff.
oh,
now.
I
Yeah.
figured that's kind of his
Yeah.
speed now. What look, both paychecks, money's money. So
Like, look, I think I talked about this last year. Is like give credit to Hallmark and whatever the great American
Absolutely.
country because like they are going to pump out like starting next month.
oh
like,
yeah.
80
Listen,
new movies.
that Hallmark money is good money.
Yeah, I mean like it's keeping the lights on somewhere.
Yep.
So good.
speaking
for
of
them.
Hallmark movie, that movie on Netflix, Taken in Plain Sight, I was fooled and I watched it. It is absolutely a made-for-TV Hallmark movie, and it is as cheesy as you'd think. But I was after the first 20 minutes, like this is a Hallmark movie, and it was like you can see,
Yeah.
you know how like they do the thing where like someone will say something and it'll fade out and fade in because the commercial break was supposed
Yeah.
to be there. But that was number 1 on Netflix for 2 days.
Jeez.
Taken in Plain Sight, but literally it only takes by the 2.5 minute mark. The little girl's been abducted from the rest stop. So like, it
Jeez.
just
Well,
doesn't waste
damn.
any time.
Hot
So,
start.
That's in it.
Yeah.
Got in it.
anyway, moving on. I wanted to, for the supplemental discussion this week, I thought it'd be fun to talk about because the lines are getting a little blurred, especially with something like Black Phone, is horror versus thriller. And I don't want to. I'm going to read some Google definitions of them,
Okay.
but then I don't want to get into like clinical definitions.
Well,
or, like,
before you get into it, let me ask a question. Just because if you don't, I'll look it up real quick. After you read these definitions, do you have a list of movies that we have to pick which one it is?
no, but I can give examples.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay, so I typed.
I see what
See what
we
I'm
were
doing?
doing there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I type. Well, I know, of course, I know what you're doing, but so I typed in Google, "What is a thriller movie?" and this is what AI says: a thriller is a genre of movie characterized by suspense, high stakes, and conflict, designed to keep the audience on the edge of their seats.
All right, Jim.
Gemini Jim trying to make a comeback.
Jim. He's back.
What is a horror movie? Google AI said this: a film genre primarily intended to scare, shock, startle, or repulse its audience by eliciting strong emotional response like fear, dread, and suspense.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
That sounds right.
Like
Close enough. Yeah,
doing
sure.
those definitions, that seems like a no-brainer to me. But
Yeah.
things today, and okay, so don't look. So I'm gonna flip back and forth. So
Okay.
start with an easy one. So actually, him.
I didn't get to watch him, so I'm out on that one.
Him is trying to repulse you, so then it would be considered a horror by that element.
I'm surprised. I would have chosen thriller. I would have given what him was thriller, but you're right. It's in the horror genre.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's trying to make you unsettled is what it's going for.
Let's do another one. Let's do another one we talked about recently. I know you did last summer.
Horror.
The remake.
That's got to be horror. Is it
thriller?
Is it listed as thriller?
That's what Gemini Gem.
Okay.
Now he's been defeated once, so he's not.
He has been defeated handily too.
There's rarely a chance that Gemini Jim will beat us. I'm just saying.
So I know he did last summer is under the horror genre.
Interesting. Well, so if you think about the
thriller.
If you think about the definitions that you gave, I guess the only thing it's trying to do is scare you, right? But its avenue that it goes to do that, it's more of a suspenseful thing. So thriller does.
You don't know who's doing it.
You should ask Gemini Jim if he liked that movie.
I don't know how to ask Gemini Jim. Okay, so let's choose another one. Actually, it's on both lists. So sorry.
Okay. Well, no. What is it? What is it then?
It's I would call that a horror. My instinct, but I can see how someone could call it a thriller.
I know you did last summer.
Okay. I would call it a horror, but
Gotcha.
I can see how someone would call it a thriller.
Yeah.
I wouldn't argue it. I guess.
Yeah. It could be a horror thriller.
The movie, and I don't know if you guys watched this, but the movie Drop. Remember that one with the cell phone? They had to sit down to a date, and she keeps getting drops into her phone.
No, I didn't see that.
Well, what would you call it? You saw the trailer.
Thriller,
That's
probably.
A thriller.
It's a thriller. Yeah, I just rewatched.
Isn't Drop the one where people were up on top of that cell phone tower?
No, that's The Fall.
That's the
or Fall or The Fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that's confusing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's. I mean, okay.
That's a good movie, by the way.
I'm trying to look at. It's got a wide from 97 to 2025.
Just start naming some. It's fine.
Well, okay. So some of the ones in the thriller genre, it has A Woman in Cabin 10, which is on Netflix, just came out. Keira Knightley.
Mm-hmm.
I can see how that would be a thriller. Play Dirty, which is
never heard of it.
That's a Prime movie. It just came out also.
Great.
Home, The Skulls. Remember that with
The Skulls with Josh Jackson. Yeah.
The Skulls.
Paul Walker's in that movie too.
Oh,
he's the bad guy.
Yeah. You are correct. I'll go further down the list. Prisoners, which I like that movie a lot with Hugh Jackman and
that's a decent movie. This is still thriller, right?
It's still thriller.
Okay.
Black Phone is listed as thriller. What Caught Stealing is listed as a thriller too. I don't know if I'd call that a thriller.
I mean, it's not horror.
There is a mystery element in it.
Well, I wouldn't call it either one of those.
Yeah. It's more
I would call that
crime.
Horror. You know
Yeah.
Nobody 2, Jim has listed as a thriller.
Jim's a moron.
Which I wouldn't. Flight Risk. I could see the argument Flight Risk more than Nobody 2, but
sure.
It's a thriller, yeah.
Yeah, I could see the argument. The Little Things with Jared Leto. That's a Jared Leto movie, wasn't it?
The Little
Him and
Things.
Denzel. That wasn't bad.
I mean, but he's never going to be the number one.
Okay, here's a big one. Well, one you hate. The Prestige is listed as a thriller, but here's a big one. Last year,
hate The Prestige? God damn it!
Just not huge on. I don't hate it.
Boo!
No, Heretic thriller. That's an easy.
Okay,
one.
Heretic, great movie. You should watch this time of year.
One of the best of last
Excellent
year.
movie.
Last year
it wasn't even last year.
The year before?
It was a while ago. I mean, we did on this show, so it had been within the last calendar year.
Yeah,
we're on episode 52. So
it was during our Oscar catch up.
Look at some more thrillers. Black Phone also. A lot of these same movies are listed. Gemini Jim, what are you doing to me?
Jim, I need better work from you.
Well, so I think it's an interesting distinction to try to make though between the horror and thriller genre because how some of these movies try to thrill you it is through horror, right? Or it is through unsettling or mystery, and horror lends itself a lot to those elements as well.
Well,
there's always a question mark on what's happening or who's doing it, and that's what eventually is revealed to you. But their avenue of getting there is always a little more intense, I feel, and that's because that's what the horror element is doing, because it wants to unsettle you, whether it be through fear, through disgust, and all those other emotions that it can try to elicit. That's why things like slasher movies, they're very much in your face in that way.
I was going to mention, whenever I hear the word horror, okay, I usually don't consider thriller horror most of the time. Now, so obviously they'll overlap a little bit, but automatically, I default to slasher.
Yes.
I hear horror and I default to brutal,
Yep.
chase somebody down with a knife
Mhm.
and stab them. Like
think
that's
think Terrifier.
Sure.
Your recent journey into that isn't that's all horror, and it's because of the over the top nature of what it's trying to do to have like all that body horror. How gruesome it is, kind of make you very unsettled and stuff.
well,
but then what happens? How do you define a movie like It in It Chapter 2?
Mm-hmm.
Because
I would
it's
say, well, but
it's
before we define
both.
it to me is horror, not thriller. It's horror.
It's
Okay.
horror before thriller for me as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, horror would be the number one slot, but
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with somebody says horror thriller.
No, I
horror.
agree, and I think that comes to along the lines of like because there's a mystery element that someone's trying to solve, so it keeps you suspended, it keeps you on the edge of your seat, as the way that a thriller like described itself. And
HBO is about to launch that It series or whatever.
I'm
Welcome to
excited
Derry or
for it.
whatever
Yeah,
is.
I'm excited for that.
I don't know if I am excited for that, only because I'm recently become a fan of not milking a dead cow. Like, I mean, the movies are good. The one we had in the '90s is good. Let's let it
Yeah,
sit for a minute.
but don't forget about the what was it, the Dark Tower, the film
Yeah.
that came out or was supposed to come out, or yeah, it did
Matthew
come out.
McConaughey, Idris Elba,
Yeah.
big deal.
So I mean, that was based in what was it, like the Dark Universe, or what was referred to as, which is all Stephen King stuff. Like there's a, like you say, don't beat a dead horse, but I don't think that's what's happening there, because there's enough interesting things about the like all of the works that King has put together
Sure.
and how he's connected them all, like in his own way, in his own, like in his writings, that does have an interesting element to it that is explorable. And Derry is a big it and Derry are a huge component in all of that.
Yeah.
It's
Sure,
like
sure.
like a lot of times a lot of things lead back to Derry in different parts of like the timeline. The creature from it is very important to like a lot of the things that
Other
are happening
timelines.
across time. So there's a lot there in that element. So like it isn't so much as, well, this was successful, let's make a show out of it. It's, I think that was absolutely said, but I think also what was said was there's a lot here we can work with.
Selfishly, though, if this thing does well, they can maybe greenlight
More of the Dark Universe
Well,
stuff.
no, I don't want more. I just want the Dark Tower. I
Yeah,
don't
right.
want. I don't want more Salem's Lot. I don't want more.
That new movie's pretty rad. Have you seen that?
The Salem's Lot one with
2025.
Pullman, Lewis Pullman. That movie stinks, dude. It's awful.
I love that. I love vampire stuff though.
It's
so.
fine. It's terrible. It's a terrible movie.
What's fun? You
And it
know,
was made like 7 years ago, and then finally.
When
got
you said
released.
Salem's
the one
Lot,
that, the one that this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was made like 7
Oh,
years
I
ago.
didn't know that.
when you guys said Salem's Lot, I thought of the Sandlot, and I was thinking, where the hell did vampires come in? But I'm caught up.
What a
Thanks.
rad crossover that would be.
Dude, that would be cool.
Benny the Jet Rodriguez out there with a broken bat. Just...
the dog. Where's the dog come in? Like,
But yeah, if it's like, I mean, selfishly, if this turns out to be successful and they get good numbers for it, and then maybe I get Roland Duchesne and some gunslinger stuff,
Hell yeah.
like, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Like, I think the first couple of books in that series are incredible,
Mhm.
and the way they blend the two worlds together is awesome.
What's like your guys' quintessential thriller movie? Like, there's no, what is it?
Scream.
But couldn't that be considered horror too, because of what it does to you?
Well,
Could
I think because you don't know who Ghostface is, so like that. I think by definition. Well, here I was going to ask the question is like
It's
I
also
think
like the guts getting spilled out and stuff.
Well,
like there's absolutely horror element there.
Sure, of course, you don't have one without the other. But I think movies like, do you remember? So Saw definitely kind of blurs the lines, and Hostel was like torture porn. Is that kind of helps to blur the lines too? Because, and I also remember a time in IMDb when I first started looking at that in high school or maybe middle school, whenever that's launched, was like movies had like 2 tags. But now if you look at a movie, it's got like, we just talked about this last week, how like one thing was action and like it's got like 15 different tags of genre tags.
Yeah, we were talking about it for when we were like like making our action comedy list.
Yes,
is what
of
it
course.
was. Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
Weapons is a great example.
Okay. Yeah.
Thriller.
Yep.
Thriller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not horror, not really.
Yeah, Weapons. Okay, sure.
Yeah. It's definitely more thriller than horror.
Drop
I
for
agree
me
with
is like that's thriller, man. That's an awesome thriller.
Okay.
Drop is.
I'm
the most
cheating
recent.
right now too. I'm looking at a list.
Well, I was
here.
going to go off the top 1 or
Yeah.
top 10 of all time according to Rotten Tomatoes.
Go ahead, sure.
Horror films.
Great.
So you're not going to know some of these because these are pretty obscure. His House from 2020.
Nope.
That's on Netflix.
Never heard of it.
Under the Shadow 2016.
Nope.
Never heard of that one. The Wailing 2016. Get Out.
Yeah. Okay.
Top horror list.
Horror
Mine-
though?
Mine's horror. I would never put that in horror.
That would
but
be that. I would categorize
that's
more that for thriller.
100%
But okay.
thriller to me. But The Babadook, which I thought was incredibly
Babadook is good.
disappointing. I thought the ending was it ruined the whole movie.
Okay, that's fair, but I
But the
think
lead up to was fantastic.
yeah.
I will say. Let the Right Ones In, 2008.
Mhm.
Host, which I don't agree with, 2020.
Okay.
The Loved Ones, 2009. Bride of Frankenstein, 1935 for horror.
Okay.
That's an excellent movie.
That scared a lot of people that are now in their they're in their late 80s. You know what I
Certainly
mean?
did. If you want some good trivia to find out, look who directed that, James Whale. Read about him, you'll be surprised. The Vampire, 1932, another one of those very famous movies. The Ring, 1998. Not The
Yeah.
Ring, not what we're talking. Not The Ring is like 7 days. But
Yeah.
something, you know what it's talking about? Okay.
No. I was assuming it
And
meant
here's
7
the one,
days.
number 12, Sinners. All time 100 best horror movies. Number 12, Sinners.
Interesting.
This is ranked by
I
Rotten
mean, it's
Tomatoes.
definitely a horror movie.
It's got a 97%. So
Sure.
and then right after it, Jaws, 1975.
Excellent.
Right after it, Psycho, 1960.
Where's the Thing? I bet it's up there.
Hold on, I'll do 2025ish. King Kong, 1933. Tigers Are Not Afraid.
Never heard of it.
Okay, 2017. Halloween, 1978. Again,
Okay.
this one to me is more horror than Scream is thriller, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Rosemary's Baby, 1968.
Okay.
Number
It's
18. Number
iconic.
20. Nosferatu, 1922.
Nice.
Eyes Without a Face, number 20. Let me just quickly glance down. Oh, Quiet Place, 2018 got number 23 for horror of all time. So,
Okay.
This is
Quiet Place is a pretty good movie.
This is strictly by Rotten Tomatoes scores, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. The Thing might not be on there.
True.
La Llorona. Okay, this is not The Curse of La Llorona. This is La Llorona.
This is just La Llorona, which is a
Holy
different-
cow! I was like, what in the heck?
Do they bless the pool?
Dracula, 1931 is number 30. It Follows is 31.
Great movie.
Silence of the Lambs is number 32. But
Great movie.
Again, I wouldn't put that as horror. That's thriller to me. But
Yeah.
my point is, I think that like the line has been blurred these days, and it's a fun conversation to have. Night of the Living Dead, number 35.
Yeah.
Now let's see if I can find a list for best thriller.
Well, one of the movies that I saw on the list that I was reading there, this movie I hadn't thought about in a while, but does fit to thriller as much as horror, probably, is remember a movie Brightburn?
Yeah.
Yes, the
Like,
Superman.
yeah,
spin-off.
like the evil kid Superman thing.
Yeah.
Like,
That's more horror than it is thriller, I
you
think.
think?
I
I mean,
think
I think
so.
it's like I think maybe 50-50.
I mean, okay, a 50-50 I would take. I would take that. It just again, it's just I think it's all within like the way that the movie's delivering it to you is
Sure.
what it feels like. Like horror feels very much in your face, while thriller is always kind of veiled behind the mystery or the or like what they're leading to. Whereas like horror, like it's always like these small peaks, these small glimpses, and then all of a sudden it's bam in your face, and it's very loud, right? So like and
Generally, yeah.
yeah, and
absolutely.
horror follows this cadence very well, very often. Whereas thriller is very much you're always kind of like on the edge, waiting for the next thing to happen so you can get to the next piece. Like horror, like you're kind of just on this like you're on a Ferris wheel until you get to the top, and then it becomes a roller coaster every time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and so like I think it's in the and like Brightburn is just that, where you get those glimpses, and all of a sudden everyone's in deep shit.
Bad.
Yeah, like
bad.
everyone's having a bad day, and it's all of a sudden.
Where's that movie list?
Come on.
That's a
No,
thriller.
no.
Just I want to balance out the other side. Now this is by Metacritic, the top 100 thriller films by Metacritic. Number 1, Rear Window, which I completely agree with. That's the
That's a good movie.
Hitchcock and number 2, Notorious, 1946. 3, Vertigo, probably should be up there. Yeah. Touch of Evil, The Lady Vanishes, North by Northwest, which most people wouldn't disagree with that. Night of the Living Dead is on both lists though, so we're starting to get. And The Third Man, which is I think that Orson Welles.
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned both lists, and so
Psycho is on both lists.
Sure.
So, but really quick, you mentioned both lists. Thriller and horror both lend themselves very well as a pair, though,
Yes,
right?
Of course they
for
do.
sure.
Yeah. So, like, it's not surprising that we're going to see a lot of overlap on things like
No.
that too.
I agree with that, but there's a kind of a brief look. We can do a longer episode on this one time, but number 11, Parasite, number 14, Gravity.
Gravity's a good movie.
Gravity
Hell
is
no,
yeah, and you'll find much more things outside of horror for
Why
thriller
did you just
too.
cover your
Number
eyes?
16 is One Battle After Another for best thrillers
Of all time?
of all time.
Oh, well,
according to Metacritic.
It's by Metacritic, so yeah, no, it's
Well,
yeah.
The Hurt Locker, Zero Dark 30, 17 and 18. Which,
God, that's great. What a pair of movies.
Double Indemnity, Dunkirk, your boy. Well, my boy, your boy, but
Dunkirk's good.
the original Manchurian Candidate, The Irishman, the Netflix Irishman.
That's a
What?
long movie.
Yeah. So so there's a brief insight. I think the conversation is worth having when you have a movie like Black Phone, which kind of blurs both. It kind of goes in both worlds.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
And I think the first Black Phone tends to be, at least to me, that was more of a thriller. And this one, I think horror might edge it out a bit more of the two. But maybe I don't know how you guys
feel like it's bloodier.
Well, it's definitely bigger.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's
I don't know. The first one is definitely thrillery to me,
Mhm.
because like there's a lot of like build up, and it's not just hack and slash, which I guess is, like I said, default to me earlier for horror.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see. I would put more thriller on it. I wouldn't argue that.
That's the thing, is I think Scream is thriller. Bennett's pretty gory, but I would say something like Friday the 13th or Freddy Krueger films,
Those are
definitely
horror.
horror. Like
Sure.
100%. There's no debating
Ooh,
that.
the Leprechaun. You know what I mean?
Horror, man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
just
mean, those
instantly.
are fun, but it is what it is. But I mean, it's the conversation's worth having, and it's, I think, kind of a personal decision what you put all these movies at. But
I was terrified to accidentally swallow money when I was younger because I remember being
Is that
really,
something that come into your?
did it happen a lot to you, Chris?
when I used to put like quarters and shit in my mouth all the time. Explains a lot. But
Does it?
anyway,
I have many more questions.
I remember the kill in one of the Leprechaun movies where the guy wishes for his gold and he just gets all the gold in his stomach.
Oh yeah, and
And he eventually his stomach explodes. Yeah.
wasn't Jennifer Aniston in one of those?
I don't know.
I think she's in one of the early ones.
I only remember the Leprechaun. You know what I
Fair,
mean?
yeah,
So-
yeah, fair. But all right, so now we come to the movie of the week, which I'm excited to talk about. I know they're excited to talk about it. This was a pretty big one for us because we love the original Black Phone. So let's talk about Black Phone 2. And do you guys know the numbers for this?
I haven't looked at anything. I've been staying away from it ever since
I've
you started
not,
asking us every
no.
week.
I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised. So the tomato meter, 74. The popcorn meter, 85.
Okay.
They seem very reasonable
That's-
to me.
Sure.
I
would
think
argue
that's a clear sign of the people that have seen Black Phone got what they expected out of Black Phone 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I would agree with
it's
you.
people came into a sequel with an expectation and like they weren't disappointed with what they were going into, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
And then the
It's
Metacritic,
very Black Phone.
Yes.
Metacritic sitting at a 59.
That's fair.
Yeah. For the movie I saw, I think
I thought
That's
you would argue that.
acceptable.
I'm glad
What-
you're not, but I thought you'd argue that.
Well, what's Black Phone on Metacritic?
Hold on, I'll let you
it's
know.
going to be in the 70s, I bet.
I
or high
think that's
60s.
high.
Remember, 70s is real high.
I know. I think Black Phone is loved by critics too.
Black Phone's only 6 points higher at 65.
Okay.
That
Well,
surprises me.
close to 7 though. Okay.
I don't think that's fair of Black Phone. I thought Black Phone was much better than 65 on Metacritic.
Well, I mean, it only has so much room to do so much, right? And I think, despite the performances in Black Phone, I think that it is the movie is very linear, and I think that probably does hurt it because like there's not a lot of like room for like dynamic play with that thriller. Because like a lot of times in those situations, you get a lot of like like subversion and expectation, which is like a part of like that thriller element. Whereas I think that in Black Phone, because the movie is kind of bottlenecked because of like the thing you like, they're in one place for most of
Sure.
it,
Yeah.
and then this movie in itself too, they're kind of in one area for 95% of the movie. So like it does kind of like lock you into like what you can do and what you can expect.
Of course.
As a watcher, it's kind of like, well, I know this is probably going to happen at this point, and I think that movies being unsurprising usually lend themselves to not being as critically acclaimed.
Sure.
So.
Okay.
And just because it came up in my search, Phone Booth is a 56. And look, it was in the same search as Black Phone. So
Perfect.
Anyway.
If I didn't have better things to do at my time, which is anything else, I would scrub all of our episodes and get a counter for phone booth mentions.
All right.
Grayson.
Chris, lead us into the thumbs up,
Phone
thumbs down.
Booth or
Please.
Yeah.
Terminate it. What?
so Black Phone 2, the sequel to Black Phone. Do we like it? Thumbs up or thumbs down? In 3, 2, 1. What we got?
I'm down with mine. I
You're
I
the
don't.
down guy this time.
I had my problems with
Defend
it.
yourself.
I thought the
can't.
Black Phone was a very creative movie.
Okay.
And when you factor in what it was, a kidnapping with intent to murder, but it
Mhm.
had some interesting twists in it too. And Ethan Hawke brought his own kind of flair to what is that guy's name?
The Grabber.
The Grabber. He brought his own flair to the Grabber, which I'll admit was great. And then so going into Black Phone 2, knowing that well, he's dead. So going into the trailers, we know that he made an appearance, he made the phone ring, and as Chris brought up in episodes past, is the supernatural element makes a kind of a bigger thing in this one
Yeah.
than it did in the original. But I didn't like the blending of the movie we got, which was Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, and then you just put them together. The camp setting with the killer in the dreams, it's something I just couldn't get past. Only because in the past, I've not been very kind to movies that do that. And I want to point out that you, Chris, hate by association Avatar simply because it tells the same story as movies prior. When this one does the same thing and you liked it.
So I don't think that I dislike Avatar because it tells the same stories as movies prior. I think that Avatar doesn't have anything in it that makes it unique or worthy of the praise of all the accolades that it seems to get from people. It doesn't do anything unique in the space with those stories. It just rehashes them. Period.
Well,
So
it rehashes them because they already exist.
well, I mean, I think in a more direct way. Whereas when you look at Black Phone 2 and using your comparisons of Friday the 13th plus Nightmare on Elm Street, I think just because it's at a camp, I mean, how many movies do we have that happen at a camp besides the Friday the 13th
Well, the
movies?
thing, okay, well, she is Nancy then, doing battle with the person in her, recruiting her friends to help her. That's what that is. I mean, Nancy and the
So,
Dream Warriors.
I mean,
I'll give you the Freddy Krueger thing.
yeah, agreed.
But for the Friday the 13th, it's just a camp.
Yeah, I disagree. Yeah.
There's no.
Well, all the
That's-
murders happened at a camp too.
Well,
In that,
but here's the
Camp
thing.
Crystal Lake. Where there, it's something had a very similar name. Like I'm just saying, they did it on purpose, and I appreciate it because of the '80s thing.
And there's difference to paying homage or paying respect and ripping off something because you don't have any better creative ideas.
Sure, and this 100%, I will admit,
Yeah.
this is paying homage to
Yeah.
the films that made the '80s what they were with with memorable things. But
Yeah.
I just this
No,
movie wasn't what I was expecting.
So here's the thing, because this is the part of the discussion that I think is worth highlighting, like right off the bat, is that there are going to be plenty that feel the way that you do about it, right? Because I think that I agree that Black Phone versus Black Phone 2, Black Phone has the more like suspenseful and ready to see what's going to happen next, at the edge of your seat thriller feel to it compared to this 100%. And the reason being is because, again, the story isn't it's wide open to what could happen. This one has a very clear, like, good and evil. This has happened because this happened in the first movie, so this is the sequel. This is what's now happening. We know if this is going to be the Grabber that's doing things, there has to be a very supernatural element that continues in this one, and they go full on in that, right? So the thing is I very much appreciate what they do with this movie, because they took the supernatural element of Black Phone, which played a role not even in a non-major way, but in a way that was effective in the movie, and they take that to its natural next step. It doesn't feel forced that now the Grabber is on the other side of the veil, and because of his presence, his power, whatever that is, and how evil the man was to his core, he is now getting to utilize the thing that was used as a helpful tool, which is already taking the positive part of the first movie, the hope that you see, and turn that into fear. I really appreciate that, because that's taking an element of your film that was already unique and making that further into the story element and going, oh shit, what do we do now that the bad guy's on the other side of this? Because before, it was the tool that was used to bring the heroes to the positive end of their journey. Now it's actually juxtaposed to them and a part of the puzzle for how the villain is doing things.
Sure, and I totally
That's
understand.
super interesting, and I can't think of another time that was the crux of a horror thriller film. that's unique to them, and I give them a lot of credit for that because that's a risk. Because a lot of people could go, oh, he's dead. How is he doing things? And be really eye rolly about it. But they do a good job of making it to where it's interesting, and I appreciated that.
Well, and he
about this
talks
film.
about being on the other side too.
He does, which is also like some of the
It's
more interesting
self-aware.
dialogue.
Yeah.
That's proof they really leaned into that.
It proves that they thought about it at least, which I can appreciate because we've seen plenty of horror movies that were like,
It's back. The thing for me between Black Phone and Black Phone 2 is in Black Phone, it's one fairly linear story.
Yeah.
It's just Finney.
Yeah.
In this one, I would argue there are 2 or 3 separate stories running congruent all to one point because you got Finn, you got his sister, and then
dad. I mean, the wife.
dad. Yeah, the rest of the family.
Yeah, well, you even have the grabber. We learn more
you
about
could argue
too.
that, sure. But all 3 of their stories converging, and I actually appreciate that because it's a more complex story than the first movie. I don't know if it's better or worse. I think it's very much a Black Phone story.
Yeah,
so
I think that's important.
That's the thing. I'm surprised that you didn't like it because I think it takes all the stuff that we liked from Black Phone and just expands on it.
It makes it bigger,
Yeah,
right? It kind of widens the net.
And without spoiling anything, like there's definitely room for more of this stuff in this universe if you ever wanted to explore it.
Yeah. So you brought up my the Avatar thing as like kind of like so why do you feel this way when you feel this way about Avatar?
Reverse question.
Yeah. Well, so no, not even. I'm gonna reverse it to you in a different way. A lot of times we'll watch a movie like Inside Out, and you'll always think of like, well, what's the next step going to be? And if it isn't this, it doesn't make any sense. I would ask you for Black Phone 2. I think if you didn't expect this to be the next step, the logical next step, than what would have been, because I think this does a good job of doing exactly what you think of in as a through line for a lot of like movie sequels, where it's like, well, when Inside Out 3 comes out, it's going to be Riley's kid, right? Well, I mean, for this one, they killed the bad guy, but he's present in this one, so how do they do that? And they did exactly what the logical next step does feel like it could be.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
And
in a creative
that.
way.
I totally understand that.
Well, they opened the door for a third Black Phone movie to follow multiple different people as well.
It could, yeah.
It doesn't just have to be Finn.
The veil could, and you could also like do the whole thing where like like now that the veil's been crossed, now other things are able to kind of interfere in different ways too.
And it's one of those things that I thought the Black Phone was great. I didn't necessarily think we needed a sequel. That's the thing.
That's fair. And here's the thing: when they talked about Black Phone 2, I was kind of weary because it's like,
you guys not watch our movie.
It's like, well, what do you do now? Like
that story's over.
I thought it was going to be some grabber copycat eye rolly crap that we have to deal with. You know what I mean? It's like they're after the same people because like the grabber had a cult that we didn't know about. But like instead, they delivered on a sequel that while I don't think it was necessary. I think it was hard to do because they kind of closed an entire like door on Black Phone. I think they delivered a pretty good sequel to where like it's like, okay, I buy this. I'm checked in for whatever they have going on, which I appreciate because this could have went really south in my opinion, story wise.
Well, I think the thing is like that. My thumbs down. I think it did go south.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed my time in Black Phone 2, and I like them to do things a little differently. That bring back the supernatural element, or they bring back the killer via a supernatural element in a way that makes sense in the story. I'll admit it makes sense within the confines of Black Phone, and that's fine.
Which is important.
And even by the very weak reason to have such a small cast in one location, I get that.
Yeah.
It
is pretty weak.
It's like kind of like a time travel movie too, with the phone calls and like the mom calling the daughter, and like
I like that though.
Well, that's one of the elements I like too. I will say. One of the elements I really enjoyed was the mother and the daughter connecting again.
Because if evil and the curse can come through on the line,
the good.
Why can't the good? You know what I mean?
And it does. That's the question I always ask.
Yeah.
Why is evil stronger and good doesn't do anything? I guess I thought you guys liked this final scene. I thought the final scene on the ice was as corny as they could have made it. I thought it was silly. I
didn't say it's not corny.
Yeah, I have problems with the last with the very end of the third act. Well, actually, the third act period. I have problems with it too. It's not perfect by any means. It's probably where the weakest part of the story, because it is kind of eye rolling and corny. they got Bob and Barbara out there getting their shit kicked in, and it's
Hey,
like, of course they
They
are.
deserved it.
They did 100%.
I wanted them to die so bad, but the thing is,
I want
like,
them to die. God,
God
they
damn.
were, wait, you didn't. They were insufferable. Come on,
I didn't say they weren't. I wasn't wishing
in-
death upon them.
In the
though.
end, they showed up though, which is a part of overcoming.
And I would say they got some comeuppance.
Yeah.
Before we go
saying.
forward, I have another point to make. Let's talk about the cast. For
Oh
Sure.
yeah.
Run it through.
We jumped right in, didn't we?
Yes, we have, of course, Black Phone, directed by Scott Derrickson. Did he do the first one as well?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I will look that up real quick. I can always sit back. I think he may have. I don't know, Roger. Can you look that up?
I'll look it up.
He's grabbing it.
Of course, we have returning cast of Mason Thames.
Mhm.
We have Ethan Hawke as the grabber. We have Jeremy Davies. We have Madeline McGraw, Gwen, who I think was the heavy hitter of this movie.
She did good. She's in something else.
fantastic.
She's in like one thing before this too. So like,
Now I'm curious. I knew she looked familiar. I just didn't know
It
what
is
it
the
was.
same director.
Okay,
It is?
Scott
Okay,
Derrickson.
good.
This must be his thing. But she was American Sniper, Toy Story 4, and Outcast.
there you go. Yeah. So like
Well, you
she.
wouldn't have known her from Toy Story.
Well, that's the thing. She came into this role and did really well for not being like really in much before this. So I think she does a good job.
He calls him a jizz mopper.
She really does.
She calls him a couple different things.
Her Gen Z insults were actually like pretty perfect.
They were Gen Z 80s insults. They were Gen Z insults written by Gen Z that they think people said in the 80s. But like, look, they were good. I'll give her that. They were good.
Jizz is such a early 2000s word. It's crazy.
Late 90s, early 2000s. Absolutely. There was a couple of like really anacronyms. I thought there was one thing I think the dad said, or no, the camp guy said it. He said something like the phrase is just now popular. I'm like, that slipped through their net. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking.
That happens in timepieces though, where
Sure.
like some things come through that like it's so everyday you don't even notice it, and even when you screen for it, you're gonna miss that kind of stuff.
What I was expecting with this one was we do get a bigger cast, and I was expecting, and this might be the Grayson special of addressing the fact that you've got a killer who was killed in the first one. Spoiler from whenever that was, but he's killed.
Well, speaking of spoiler, go watch Black Phone if you haven't. It's great.
You should.
Black Phone
Black
is
Phone's a great movie.
miles ahead of Black Phone 2 as far as thriller horror is.
I mean, listen, I'll give you that it's better.
They're a
I won't
wonder-
argue that.
I
but
think they're a wonderfully paired combo.
I think I don't think that's even funny to say. I think legitimately Black Phone is very good.
Yeah.
I think Black Phone 2 is good, and I can see why in your case it's a little bit too much.
Yeah,
I can see that. I think Black Phone 2 is a great compliment to Black Phone.
Yeah, it's very rare that we get a sequel to something from something good that we're like that we could be on board with. You know what I mean?
Well,
You don't have to love it, but it's like for them to like make an actual like 1 and 2 pairing that are so closely related and like can like kind of be the same vibe. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Another problem I have is logistical, and this is the same problem with like, and I brought it up before in a previous episode. So how long has it been since you guys have seen the Friday the 13th kind of
It's been
compendium?
Friday the 13th has never been my thing. I'm more of a Halloween
No,
guy.
sorry, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Even that, I've only watched him like
One
once
of the
or twice.
later
Not something
films.
I ever get out of the closet.
One of the later films when like most of the adults are still like, is this really happening? Like, I don't
Yeah.
like, you're kind of crazy. Is like there's a hospital room and he's got someone on his claws and she's on the ceiling.
the ceiling
and
of
the
it,
nurse
yeah,
sees it, and then like other staff sees like, okay, well then it's out there. Like then it's like, well, they're no longer crazy. So that happens pretty early after the grabber starts doing his thing in this one, and then they see because like the Gwen is like,
her ass in the
Dude.
kitchen.
well, and
Yeah.
he's whipping her ass, almost puts her in the fire. And then somehow, and I am again very purposely done here, the religious fanatics are like, she must be possessed by the devil.
Well, I mean,
in their defense,
it's befitting.
Sure, but come on, do your eyes betray you?
Try to quantify things that you don't understand by stuff that you do.
Yeah.
And in their case, and not take it with a grain of salt, but assuming in that time frame that they have seen The Exorcist, okay, legitimately, it's not a wild thing to think about. The Exorcist would have come out already, big deal. You automatically, for stuff you don't understand, it's got to be the devil.
Yeah.
Especially if you're deeply religious.
Yeah,
And
especially in that time.
well, and for what happens to her.
Yeah. She's also a foul mouthed girl.
Yep.
And she and then all of a sudden she's floating around and spinning and shit. Those are like
when
just
she spins off the bed,
yeah.
like a fucking Mortal Kombat.
Those are 1-2 punches for making a believer think that you're possessed. You know what I mean? And it's like so like it's befitting the characters in a way. It's eye rolly to us, the audience, because we know there's stuff happening to this girl, right? But like to them, the character wise from their perspective, of course that's what's happening. This girl's rude, she's mouthy, she doesn't really believe
She deserves it.
Yeah, like and she's 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 got a foul mouth, which is always like something that
You know,
like early
religious older people hate that.
Yeah, it's like it's so on point for those characters. They're shitty characters. We're supposed to not like them. Don't get me wrong, but like it's not like all this happens.
Super endearing.
Yeah. So it's like I'm not surprised they went that route. The other thing on like the stuff that's happening and it being like kind of like eye rolly is like I don't know. The location's convenient. I agree with you on that. The snowstorm's convenient. I agree with you on that. But like you could argue that the leather is also part of the supernatural element too,
Sure,
because
of course.
things like this happens.
I
But,
wouldn't
like,
argue that.
the most unbelievable part about Black Phone 2, the most unbelievable part is that there's a fucking payphone there.
Well,
No, it's the most unbelievable part.
of course. But the thing is, like,
Well, it's not like it was set in 2025.
but
It's fair, but still.
so
Way more unbelievable
There's the
now.
phone line. We understand how this works.
a couple of questions I have is it's like this movie's allowed to persist because the script doesn't address certain things. It's like, oh, there's a phone out there, hasn't worked in a decade, and he's not like, really? Because I just spoke to someone. Or what I was getting to earlier is you have to give our characters something that they can tangle with and win, something that they can fight. Is what I mean by that is on the ice, I get that things are set up. I believe, Roger, your words were "Hell yes, Devil Man, love your skates" or something like that. Ice blades, hell yeah, Devil Man. He's a bad villain because him not eliminating certain threats at certain times allows him to be killed. It's just you wouldn't do that in war. In war you make sure your flank is covered. You always, if you know a weak point, you sew it up quickly or you lose. And it's that to me is like he was skating around doing his things and allowed the characters time to react to what they were seeing and deal with it. I always go back to what a line in The Founder when Ray Kroc is talking to the McDonald brothers on the phone is, if I saw my opponent laying on the ground drowning, I'd walk over and stick a hose right in his mouth. Can you say the same? Well, no, they couldn't. But if the villain, you gotta kill the people that believe you're there, leave the other ones, let them go so that your power stays consistent. To me he was kind of acting out of character in that way too. And not only that, but you're giving our people something they couldn't fight, but then allowing them to be able to fight it. It's a weird juxtaposition for me.
See, I would say that I don't feel that way because like from watching the first movie, like he acts very much like he did in that movie. There's a lot of hubris there. Like, I am this guy. I am basically untouchable. And yeah, you beat me the first time, but look, now I can do a whole bunch more stuff.
Mhm.
You're not ever going to beat me again. Like the point that we were talking about before the show, when there's a scene in the kitchen where he steps out with this, axe or hatchet, whatever you want to call it. And he's just spinning his hand like super casual.
Yep.
This is going down right now. He does not have a care in the world.
Mhm.
Like, I don't see why that's a big step for somebody like him to I don't think it's out of character at all.
But he would just do it. He wouldn't play with them.
I think he would though, because that's what he does in the whole first movie.
Well, sure. And if you're going with the Freddy thing, which I am, Freddy toys with his victims.
Well, I have two things. First thing, so the first piece is really important. The movie has to happen. So
Sure.
that's the first piece of it.
But that's fine. But you make a sequel with the villain already dead, then you better. Then I'm not the problem here. You're the problem.
Well, hold on. I
There's
say
different rules too.
yeah, but the second part is he says it early on. I think in the kitchen scene where he draws his power through fear. So he's more powerful the more that he's being feared.
Of course, Freddy.
So, well, okay, but so going after Bob and Barbara Jean out on the ice first,
Barbara.
the ones that are confused, already scared, and getting them to be and attacking them first, they're the ones that are A, the weakest, and B, that are going to give him more power initially.
Power, sure, yeah.
our other characters, our three main heroes here, our three kids, they're the most powerful of his opponents, and one of them is actually fighting back aptly. So you say you go after them first. You know, our guy is, again, the downfall of evil is usually the fact that it is
Hubris.
Yeah, so that's something there. But he needs to be feared to be more powerful, and the person that he wants to kill is already fighting back. He might not might be able to just go after her like that. So I think that's the point. It's like that's the main call it what you will, but that's the big suspension of disbelief moment where you have to believe in the rules, because you're big on rules. He set the whole I'm power through fear thing first, and she's fighting back now. So going after her isn't as simple as, well, I'm just going to get her first because she can see him. She can do stuff about it. She knows what she's doing, and she does that actively the whole time.
And she changes the rules on him too. She's like, "I'm not here because you brought me here. I'm here because I want to be here. I can leave anytime that I want.
I'm not trapped in here with you."
Yeah, I mean, basically that's what
Yeah,
she
yeah,
said.
yeah.
But that's what
Like,
she.
I
That's
come
what she
here to
says in
beat
the
your
end,
ass.
though.
You know,
She says that to him when she first fights back on the ice.
yeah, when she's in.
That's
Well-
at like the almost end of the movie part.
No,
though.
well,
That
there's
is
a whole other.
that's the end of
there's-
Act 2.
Yeah, when she's in the phone booth,
Yeah.
on the ice, when the one appeared there, and
Yeah.
he's like beating on the door, and she's like can't get out. No, but like remember she punches so hard,
Yeah.
like her knuckles are bleeding, and then she screams and the thing blows up.
Well, that's when he's terrorizing. Oh, he's terrorizing the dude on the ice who's looking for the
Yes.
boy.
Mhm,
Yeah, of
Mando,
course.
yeah.
Yeah, but she realizes in that moment when
Mando, not
she's
Mando,
the one
not
that,
the
that
Mandalorian.
breaks the phone booth, that she has the ability to act here as well, and
She has
that's
powers here.
yeah. So his hubris, he's torturing her, pushing her to the limit. By pushing her to her limit, he helps her discover that she has power here.
Yeah, she went Super Saiyan.
Basically, I mean, he's not wrong, but it's
Rarely am.
Son of a bitch.
so his own hubris, even in that point, was working against him.
Correct.
So it's like, I think all of his fits. It's one of those things where it's unfortunately it's rare when we get a well written horror thriller thing in this genre, and I think we got a decent one. We've seen so much worse in this space.
I was going to
so
say the
much
same
worse.
thing.
What?
To have a sequel that I consider good and worthy of the original is such a thing we don't get very often.
So
anymore.
Well,
It's
sequel in general,
Yeah.
horror or not.
yeah,
It's,
that's what I mean. A follow-up movie to a movie that's good very rarely measures up. And like this one, like I said earlier, I don't think it's as good as the first one, and it's a fair thing to say.
Yeah.
I do not think this is bad, and I think it fits right in line with it.
Mhm.
And
I agree
the
with that.
bar to that though is so low, so very low, that when we get
Yeah.
something that I find fits, like I was happy. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think this is good
Yeah.
because the other shit is so bad sometimes.
Yeah, some of the imagery that it used for the Grabber's character, I really liked in this. Like I mentioned to you guys before we started recording, when he comes out of the dark in the kitchen scene, I've never thought. There's not a time I can think of that I thought a horror villain was cool as shit looking. Right? He looked cool as hell in that scene.
You're talking about when he comes out of the corner right before he starts tossing her around. And
Where he just
everyone
pops
sees
out
her.
Yeah,
of the darkness.
he comes out with his arms splayed out
Well, when
wide.
he comes out Buffalo Bill, and that's from Silence of the Lambs. Another
No,
one.
well, hold on. No, you're but the Buffalo Bill thing wasn't creepy. It was almost funny in a way. He doesn't come out Buffalo Bill. He's not doing the whole gyration thing. He comes out of the.
He was though, wasn't he?
I think I think he's doing the showman thing.
if-
Like,
if
I'm
you-
here now,
yeah.
baby.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
he
well, that makes-
well, he comes out and he takes up the space. He fills that shot, and it's with that black backdrop, him coming out of the shadows.
And it's got like the
Man.
red coming from the fire.
It's just such a good shot.
I don't
Like-
disagree with you. That's
like-
like a cinematography. That's one of those I
Yeah,
love it.
I don't want to take anything from that shot. Like that was they put that together, inspiration or not, and it owns, man. It's so good.
I still think the inspiration was Buffalo Bill. Was anything from and I'm sure I missed like a dozen other that I just don't watch them very
so many
often.
things have been done. It's so hard to do something that is wholly unique, though.
And you know,
Of course.
and especially if you don't want to. Like,
Yeah.
maybe they want to do that.
But I also what something else I want to talk about is the film stock, like the grainy Super 8
I
film
loved it.
stock versus.
Loved it.
Yeah,
It's like I thought that was
that was a good touch, right?
awesome.
It was
You
a
had
clear,
to. I was gonna say you had to have
and it's
seen
a
that.
clear identifier of like
when
somebody's
they're
in the dream thing or whatever space they're supposed to be occupying.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
I liked well because like they added a little sound distortion with it too, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah, it sounds a little weird.
Yeah,
Just a little.
just a little bit of warble, and like there's a point where she thinks she's awake and everything looks like a normal grain again, but the warble's still there, and then all of a sudden we're pulled right back in. I was like, oh, that
Correct,
was cool.
yeah.
When
I like
she's
that.
looking at herself, I'm just like,
Yeah,
Well, that adds stakes. That's the thing. It's like stakes are here when they ordinarily wouldn't be in this kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I guess what I'm saying is like maybe I'm willing to see the argument for a thumbs up. And
no, it's okay.
No.
It's important to me because like
Well,
when I left that theater, I was like, man, no, thumbs way down. But like maybe it's not as down as I wanted to put it.
My goal would never be to sway you because listen, it's not as good as the first one, and that's
Yeah.
if that's the only bar you ever hold it
Agreed.
to, I will never argue that.
Yeah.
One thing I want to talk about though, because we talked about a little bit with cinematography with the grainy, I loved some of the indoor cabin shots with like the
old space heaters.
Space heaters.
Yeah,
Like
That was on purpose.
I love that.
that's a real thing
Because
too.
It is,
Yeah,
and it's like, we've all like, listen, I've been to camps like that.
Yeah.
They all had those shitty space heaters,
Mhm.
and if it got a little bit cold at night, those things glowed
Yep.
and like cast this stupid red light
eerie
across
red light. Yeah,
everything.
I got one in
And
my bathroom.
Yeah, I know it looked like an evil
still
electric
exist.
snake.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Those are also hot.
Oh yeah, they're
I mean, there's a
dangerously
Hot
hot.
as hell.
there's a
sometimes.
reason why she's sleeping in this middle of this snowstorm in this cabin with no blankets.
Yeah,
Because that cabin is warm.
they kick off heat 100%.
Like I love those shots where
Oh,
like
yeah.
the camera's moving between the
Yeah.
bunks and it's just like the lights everywhere.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
No, like and like I also like the fact, and this might surprise you, Grayson, because I'm usually a big negative on this. When they're in the dream world, and he's like abducting her mother and bringing her and taking her along back to her house and stuff to show her things. I love the fact that it's that shaky cam over the shoulder
of course,
camera
of course.
because like it fits that 8mm vibe so well. And like when you're in a dream, it's always it's like you dream in first person, right? So like that shaky cam really does make it feel like you're in that dream with them. So it's such a good like measurement point to like good cinematography choices
I
that
don't
I really
disagree with
enjoyed.
you at all. I thought the production value of this is top notch.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like you can
Well-
see some money was put in certain places.
This also proves with a smaller budget, which I guess even for Blumhouse, 30 million is kind of a high for a Blumhouse movie.
Is this Blumhouse? Okay.
Blumhouse.
Blumhouse.
That if you spend your money the right way,
Mhm.
it can go a longer way.
True.
Instead of dropping a bunch of money into a bunch of big stars or bad CGI, which like, look, there's some CGI in this movie, of course.
Yeah.
There's this point where he's ice skating around on like ice blades
Yeah,
on his
yeah.
feet. Let's not say it looks. I'm not going to say it looks incredible,
Yeah.
but they put the money into this like small cast, small location in a decent story, and I think it works.
Yeah, no, I think so
So-
too.
I would agree with you on that. I mean, let's talk about the other part of the cast, though, the kids. From the kids that are the grabbers' victims.
Mhm.
I thought that was an interesting way to
See
bring
that
them
dude's
in and
face when it
incorporate
keeps-
them.
When his face keeps falling off.
You mean
his
after
head.
Oh, yeah.
after the window?
Did not like that.
You know, like that?
I like. I mean, like there's so many little details about it that I enjoyed, but like do you mean the kids are heroes, quote unquote, our team, or the kids like the ones
No,
that were
sorry.
I
killed?
think he means the dead kids.
The dead kids.
Okay,
They're,
okay.
Not only are they brought in, I think, in an interesting way, but they remain relevant. They're not just prop piece to give us jump scares. They have a reason for being there
Yeah.
thematically in the movie.
Yeah.
But again, it's very Nightmare on Elm Street ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's also very Black Phone because that was
I agree.
absolutely present
I
in the
agree
first
with
one without the call to that. The I think I enjoyed their involvement. I think they could have had a little bit more to do with it, honestly, or like their presence there kind of came and went in like in its importance pretty
I
quickly.
don't know. They were pretty important in the end. There, they
At the
Right.
very end, but like again, like they didn't. Besides leading our the girl to like that other cabin one time, they didn't really do too much besides really freak her the fuck out for a little bit.
Sure, which
You know what I
is
mean?
which is okay. Got her attention.
Yeah,
Attention
true, true.
grabbing.
you
Which
see a ghost face cut off by a window, and then the eyes or the mouth still like.
still blinking at you like
Yeah.
a fish,
Yeah.
out of water.
I think another reason I think we got Black Phone when we did is because Sinister 2 didn't go well. Because all the same elements are here. The kids, the murders, you know who did it, and like the kids are there kind of like although in Sinister they're
Isn't
helping
it-
the murderer.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna say
all the same elements are
okay.
just
I
something
don't think I
Gotcha.
ever watched the Sinister movies.
Sinister is great. Sinister 2 really bad.
Yeah, Sinister was good.
The first one's good, but it's jump scare after jump scare
Yeah.
after jump
Speaking of
scare.
jump scares,
Not really my style.
Speaking of jump scares, there's only one in this.
It was a good one.
Good for them.
Well timed,
Mhm.
and like
Effective, you would
immediately
say.
got me go. Shit. Because like it wasn't loud. It was
Yeah.
just
I don't even know what the third jump scare was.
when she ends up down in the grabber basement. And she gets off the phone and turns, and that guy's standing right there behind her.
Oh,
the dude with
right.
the axe.
Oh, that's
his
James.
brother.
That's James Ransone again. Ethan
Yeah.
Hawke, James Ransone in both Sinister films.
Yep.
So I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I think we got because the first Sinister made tons of money. The second one made nothing. So
Yeah.
that's why we got Black Phone. But I'm glad we got Black Phone because Sinister was gone.
So, question for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're on the ice and in the movie, and we're kicking the mask into the lake, right?
Yep.
So they don't burn the thing, so
Nope.
they just kick it into the water.
That's
So
why
Well,
we're getting 3.
He's
so when do you
He's
guys?
done,
So
he's
when do you
done.
guys think the Warrens show up and find the mask?
son of a bitch.
So if you pull in the Conjuring thing,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
because I think you could. Because like, here's the thing, with that, it fits the time frame.
Mhm.
Okay, because this movie's set in
80s, right?
82,
Early 80s.
83-ish. So you could even have the new Warrens,
Yep,
the
exactly.
new ones in the movie we just talked about.
Yeah.
And
Even
the
the
mask,
old Warrens.
and the mask could be in their room. The
That's right, or
Mhm.
just a piece of the mask, even.
Oh yeah,
Just
half of it
because
because there's
it's
two of them
broken.
now. Yeah.
It's broken, and because like you never really get the thing. Like, is he a demon? Is he a ghost?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
I think there's a good chance that you have that you could argue the point to where the Warrens are called to something, or they find it, or like Grayson just said, it's already in their room, and all they have to do is then like have more grabber incidents happening, but have add like obvious supernatural elements, and they're called in to save the day.
See, I'm already into this. I'm in. Like, I need to see the next Conjuring film, the Black Phone.
Because like, look, I would definitely like if they crossed over at all. Just that doesn't have to be like a whole movie.
Yeah.
Like just in passing, I'd be
Yeah.
like,
Just the mask sitting
Yeah.
on the pedestal in their
yeah. Or,
artifact room.
when like she's
Yeah.
going through like other worlds and like she sees a glimpse
Mhm.
of the mask
Or a phone
Yeah.
booth.
or the phone booth.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the phone
Very,
Yeah.
calling.
That's very iconic.
Yep.
with the
Yeah, hell
phone.
yeah.
Yeah, at this point.
You know?
I'd watch that.
Yeah, me too. That'd be cool as
Or
hell to
then,
see that crossover.
Like a phone booth crossover with Colin Farrell.
No,
Stop! You ruined it.
I love phone booths.
I'm gonna unplug your microphone.
No, I'm running the show, dog.
I
Come on.
can still it's right there. In front of me.
so something else that I really enjoyed that I want to highlight before we forget to, the music in this and sound design is really good too.
Sure.
They do good music play with like when we're not sure why we're in the 8mm shots yet. And we already mentioned the warble and stuff too, but like the background music for some of the high tempo moments, especially the kitchen scene. But the end of this movie when they're overcoming the grabber, the music that's playing in that scene while they're becoming triumphant, it hits so hard
does.
and it's so well placed in that film. I was really impressed.
Well, this
with
is the
that.
second week we've watched a movie where the music is not only super important, but like it's telling the story. Like Tron, for example, like the music is you can't have a Tron movie without the music that we got.
Yeah.
So I think Black Phone's another fine example of that.
Yeah.
With like you had to. I know what you're talking about, and like I don't want to spoil the sequence for people who haven't seen it yet, but it's a very well done sequence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
especially with the music that's playing.
Oh
too,
yeah,
the track.
like the music is it's not that cherry on top. It's like that last ingredient that really does make it a complete dish. And
Sure.
I really very much enjoyed
But
that
that's
part
also
of it.
with Sinister too, like the
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Yep, it's there.
That's very iconic music
very much
too.
there.
Is, um, I love Mason Thames finally getting his
Oh yeah.
Dahl just beats the
his
shit out of
revenge.
him.
I will
Oh
say,
yeah.
but it's very satisfying to watch that.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, like,
You get him, Hiccup. You get him.
well, I mean, like, so the movie has a believable setup, in how we
In the
go
Black
from.
Phone universe, or like,
Well, yeah,
I just
yeah,
want
well,
clarification.
yeah, because we go from movie one where
Okay, I'm just checking because
yeah,
I was like, in
yeah.
2025, I don't really.
Well, yeah, no, no, but
just checking.
bad guy dies. How is he gonna be here? So we have a good setup
Okay.
for that.
Sure,
We have a
yes.
believable setup. We have characters we don't hate, and then we have some good music, good imagery, good use of cinematography, and then a satisfying comeuppance for an ending. I mean, like,
And a whole new branch opens for
yeah.
story.
I mean, this just feels like good movie to me, and and I'm not like I'll champion or fight for a film that I think is good no matter what. But
You
like,
should always do that.
I'm just surprised that this movie doesn't have slightly higher ratings than it does. But then you raise perfectly good points, and like we've all said, Black Phone is better than this movie
It
all
is.
around.
And it
But
is.
it feels so good as a combined work to me. Like I'm excited to watch Black Phone and then watch Black Phone 2. Like, and
I
that's
will
kind of
be very
crazy.
excited if 3 years from now we find out that Black Phone 3 is coming.
Yeah.
It's like, look, it could absolutely kill everything that I believe in this franchise
Yeah.
for right now. But I'd be like, cool, man. Like, I've been waiting for another chapter of that
They pulled it
story.
off 1 and 2. I'm gonna give them 3 until they show me
Where do
otherwise.
we go with 3? That's
Here's the thing: you can go a bunch of different
The
directions.
Warrens, we've already talked about it.
Yes, you cross over with the Warrens. But I mean, here's the thing: you can consider Finn's story can be closed out.
Oh yeah.
He can just be a secondary character moving on.
Yeah.
And it could all be about all Gwen, or it could be about the family in general.
Well, Mom had a gift.
Yeah.
Gwen
Gwen
obviously has
has
the
the
same
same thing.
gift, but like Gwen's mom never got to actualize her gift.
Yep.
She was afraid of her gift, whereas Gwen has used it in a way of power, into where like she could become a just to continue the like the through line, like a different like Warrens, right?
Yeah,
She
sure.
she could now seek these things out and then solve them. There's a lot there, but also again, the grabber has broken the veil and used the other side to come over. It could you could have it
both
where
ways. We can find out that it
well,
goes both ways.
you could have it that in doing so the grabber broke some some ancient rules to where like now other things are able to come forth from the veil that aren't supposed to. Like all these things can be again meaningful through lines that actually like make sense when you think about them,
Yep.
as they've already set up in the first 2 Black Phones, which again that's like the main thing that I appreciate about it, is that like I'm not like waiting for the eye rolly thing to tell me why it's okay. They showed me a good reason why I can believe it,
Okay.
and that's cool to me.
Yeah. I mean,
Continuity is important. Weird.
yeah, and it
Strange.
does matter. I mean, I'm with you with that. There are so many directions you can go,
Mhm.
and any kind of story that involves, her solving some other kind of or confronting some other demon entity, whatever it is, I'm okay with that, even if it's not strictly the grabber.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
same. Yeah, I
like
mean that.
you can obviously continue the grabber motif because that is very much part of Black Phone.
Yeah.
It doesn't just have to be that.
Mhm.
Or you could do, to go back to the Warrens thing for a second, you could have it where she starts doing other things and then encounters the grabber again later on. Not
Yeah.
just him, but like further down the line.
Mhm.
There was 3 years in between movies last time. Say hypothetically we do 3 years again.
Yeah.
She'd be 18, 19 years old,
Mhm.
um, out doing helping people out. Even if it's just finding
Yeah.
missing people,
Yep.
dead bodies,
Yeah.
those kind of things. Yeah, missing kids.
Yeah.
Like that's a big
From
deal for a lot of people.
from unsolved serial killer stuff.
Exactly. Or just unsolved deaths,
Yeah.
period, right?
Yep.
Because that's the other thing too with these kids that are missing. You assume that they're from the same lake. What if those kids died in different years?
Yeah.
Stuff happens in camps,
Yeah.
unfortunately. You don't know necessarily as a serial killer, so like that could string other storylines along
Mhm.
too. So
Black Phone 3 Crank Call. You know what I mean?
mm,
Yeah. Good
let's
title line.
not do that.
How do you guys feel about the one last question? How do you guys feel about the dad having such a big role in this?
He didn't have a big role. I disagree with that.
He has
Well,
enough. He has a ton of screen
I
time.
mean, he has some screen time here
Yes.
compared to previous.
Okay, so I should rephrase. He has a lot of screen time. Maybe not a big role, but he's on screen for like 20 minutes.
You know what though? His story is interesting too, though, because like he's broken,
Yeah.
and for good reason he's broken. But the good part of that is in this story he gets some closure, and I won't spoil that part of it.
Yeah.
Um, his closure should help him be better.
Yeah.
Like he's sober now,
Mhm.
you know, because he wasn't in the first movie. That's
Yeah.
that's a big part of that. And you know, he's getting his life together.
Yeah.
And you know, his family can be more of a family, and that could mean a lot of different things in this world. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think his loop is closing it for the better.
I think it was fine that he had he had the screen time he did, and they kind of wrapped that all, like, looped it all together in that way. I think that was fine. I mean, I'm not impressed by his presence or like anything to do with him, but him showing up with the plow truck. Okay, cool.
Hey
Whatever.
guys, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of like,
He could drive for days.
yeah, but you know, like that was okay. Other than that, like him being there and the part of their story coming like full circle, I think that's okay.
Well, the thing is, one last gripe I have was this, and
They
I'll
could
talk
just
about
leave.
now is, well, no, because they couldn't. I mean, there's a reason they
She
couldn't.
wouldn't. Yeah,
no.
she wouldn't.
And she didn't, and then the brother wouldn't, and then he wouldn't. So
Yeah,
of course, but it's, if you're gonna bring him in, especially in the end on the ice, and then bring him in that, like, actually, Dad, Mom didn't hang herself. It's like she on the phone.
Ruined my spoiler.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
she on the
He
phone.
worked so hard.
I mean, like, look, if you got to 89 minutes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fine.
She was the only one that got she had the emotional moment. She passed it on to her brother because she said, but like, father didn't really get any of that. And I thought that that character was somewhat cheated
You don't know that.
in
Well, I
emotional
mean,
closure.
he tells her straight. She tells him straight up, "Mom didn't
Yeah.
kill herself."
Yeah, but she didn't. I mean, again, she sent something to the daughter, the son, but like, I feel like he was owed something.
Well, maybe he is. But I mean, here's the thing: closure enough in that situation, and mind you, it'd be different for everybody. Is maybe just knowing that she didn't kill herself.
Yeah.
Like, because then you have the unresolved thing. Was it my fault? Was it our fault?
Yeah.
You
That,
know,
that changes your entire perspective of the way you've
No, I
thought of
totally
something for so
understand that. I
long.
just-
So
I expected, because they brought him back, I said, okay, he's going to get an emotional closure here. He just didn't.
I mean, I'm okay that he
the
did.
family's in better shape at the end of this movie than they were at the beginning.
How
I
much?
guess that's
How much
okay.
did you care about the father as a character?
More than I cared about those
got a hell of a mullet.
insufferable church people.
He's
Jeez,
got a hell of a mullet.
he does.
It's fucking.
I didn't
strong.
care about that at all.
I mean,
I
like,
didn't
look,
either, to be
if that dude was ripping like camel wides, I'd be like, this dude, hell yeah.
Like, that's how they found the way back down the mountain, is like cigarette butts.
Yeah.
And just
Exactly.
That's okay.
as soon as they left the house, I didn't expect to see him again.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
be honest, I didn't expect to see him
Yeah,
again. So.
and he showed up, whatever. So like, I don't care if he got an on-screen closure because the daughter already kind of like,
Yeah.
like sutured that wound for
It's
him.
closed for me. And
Yeah.
that's how I look at it.
If I'm being honest, I hope we do not get a black phone 3. I don't mean to like
No,
kill
no, no,
your
you're
love
fine, you're
for it.
fine,
I
you're fine,
just-
fine.
I think the black phone is tapped out. I
Yeah,
think,
like if I never got on the black phone, I wouldn't be sad because again, this is a great one. This is a great 2-piece film, I think.
Yeah, you can
But-
walk it off, man. Be like,
Yeah.
all right, we did
Well,
we did
Yeah.
a great.
Hey, we did it, guys.
We did a
Yes.
great. we did a great-
Ethan Hawke, James Van. So I think probably some of the creative people may have been the same. Like, we got a good Sinister movie, we got 2 good black phone movies. If they do something else, I'm okay with it. Like,
Yeah.
I would prefer another project than a third black phone. Is what I'm saying at this
Maybe.
point.
Yeah, but is that because like we feel like there's nothing cool if they could do here, or do we feel like it's because we get
I mean, I
burnt?
already wrote another movie.
Well, I mean, or is it because we get burnt on on a third movie in a series way too often? You know what I mean? Because like,
I mean,
you know,
well,
if-
we get
if-
burnt on the second movie a lot of
we
times.
do. But I mean, we'll always have Terminator 1, 2, and then 3. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you know, they did a pretty good Terminator
Yeah,
1 and 2
But
here.
the more movies you get, you find out 3 is not really that bad.
It's also fair.
It's just amazing how that works. I just
Same with Alien. Same with Terminator.
Saw
Yeah.
11.
be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
shit, this isn't very good, but goddamn, it's better than 4 other ones after it.
Yeah, it's jeez. Well, I'm glad you guys liked it more than me. I was worried that I was really going to be.
I'm honestly just surprised that you didn't. But I mean, it's all right.
I don't know what it is. I just didn't dig it. Like, I wanted to. I was excited for it.
Yeah.
Same with Tron the week before. Like, I
I think it would be cool to back these movies. 100%. I think that would add a lot of
marathon night for.
not even marathon, just one, just 2. But yeah, like I think that watching Black Phone and Black Phone 2 would be a cool pairing.
Gather
Like,
your young
Yeah.
daughters around.
Well,
the
I mean,
TV
or for
and-
like next Halloween,
Yeah.
like one night you watch Black Phone and the next night you watch Black Phone
Yeah.
2. I think that's a fine combo,
Yeah.
of course.
which is cool because you don't get that very often. I think.
We don't have anything in October else, do we? That's like remotely thriller horror. Do
Oh,
we?
really,
No.
really weak for that. This
This
year.
was this was the horror movie that we had we
Hey,
had like to choose.
At least it
choose
was
from.
good. At least I thought it was
True.
good, I guess. So
True. No, yeah, you're right.
it's not just about me in that aspect, but
Could've-
it made a decent amount of money.
Could
It's
have
going to
been
clear its
worse.
budget after 2 weeks,
Yeah.
so good for it. Other than that, like, there's no big name scary movie this year. Like,
Yeah.
there's no Scream, there's no Jason, there's no Halloween, there's
Yep.
no Saw.
The Leprechaun.
Scream's next
No.
year. We know that. Scream's
Sure.
next year.
But I mean,
Next March, I think.
But it's not this year.
well,
Well, they're
it's-
always in March anyway, aren't they? They're on.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I'm always down for Scream though. So
Well, they got one more. They got to kill Sydney. They've killed everyone else. They got to kill Sydney still. So, didn't they kill? Sorry, spoilers.
no,
Didn't they kill Dewey? Yeah, they
Yeah.
killed Dewey.
yeah, but
Yeah.
the reporter's
away.
still alive.
Gail Weathers is dead.
No, she's not.
Isn't she dead?
Nope.
Did it not kill her?
Nope.
We'll find out.
Almost.
When you look
Didn't-
into it and tell us next week.
Wait a minute. The movie didn't end with her. I haven't seen it since we talked about it. So
No.
okay, okay. Hey, I'm just saying. I thought. Okay.
I'm also just giving you the answer.
Hey, Grayson, what's your final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
I'm glad Gail Weathers is dead. She's not dead, sir.
Okay. Final thoughts on Black Phone 2 is, I personally was a little disappointed. It's got great production value. I think they did great with writing elements that I wouldn't have thought they could get in the script, but I thought they did a good job with it. So I like what they did with the Super 8 film, with the, so you know where you are, what story's being told, who's in what kind of dream state. I like that a lot. I like the lighting. It's got a lot of great things here. I just didn't like the movie as a whole, I guess.
It's funny. You named 6 things that you liked about it.
All right, thank you. That's all you like. I'm not
I wonder what you were counting.
Yeah,
Chris
let's
actually does count on his fingers.
Count all the positive things he had to say about the movie that he didn't like. My final thoughts on Black Phone 2 are that I think this is a triumph in a way that a lot of sequels to decent movies fail. And this doesn't do that. This takes what it did first, makes a believable, interesting enough story, and it makes a real through line, and it's transformative. It doesn't just do Black Phone again. It does Black Phone Plus is what it ends up doing, which I really appreciated that. Combine that with some great visual storytelling with the camera choices and the music element that goes along with it all, and some sound design and some great imagery. This thing's worth watching, I think. And like I said, a Black Phone 1 and 2 back to backer could be a good time. What about you, Raj?
Yep. Perfect.
Nice.
Well-spoken man, Roger Stillion over there. Yep.
Now listen.
Short version is I like this movie. If you like Black Phone, you should like this.
Yeah,
Check it out,
agreed.
for real.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. That does it for us on episode 52 of
52?
Post Credits Podcast, a show where we are lucky enough to talk about movies with you. Literally, someone reached out and we respond to them.
Yeah, true.
If you listen to this episode on an audio-only service, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Podbean, head over to YouTube. Did I count one too many? I think I did count one too many.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Head over to YouTube. Check us out there. Turn us on while you're doing whatever you're doing.
Bad at math.
He's
In my defense, I have my 10 key. I just do everything with. But like and subscribe. Don't forget that. Thank you for joining us, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week.
next week.
I didn't say it though.
That's good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You have to end the
You
show.
have to close it out.
Oh, do I? Shit.